Hey everybody, Johan Magnusson here, Big Swede Barbecue, and today we're making our grilled shrimp and corn Maque Choux on the Big Swede Barbecue Ring of Fire from WPPO. So the first thing that we want to do is to start marinating the shrimp, and we have some beautiful Argentine red shrimp here that I basically just cut open and deveined. And this is how we're going to make the marinade. Start by adding 3/4 of a cup of olive oil in a bowl, and then add 5 tablespoons of mashed garlic. Then you want to add 2 tablespoons of Creole seasoning and 2 tablespoons of our Big Swede Barbecue Badass Seafood Boost. Then stir this thoroughly and pour over the shrimp. Then you want to mix the shrimp and set aside for at least an hour. So while we're waiting for the shrimp to marinate, it's now time to get a fire started in the Big Swede Barbecue Ring of Fire. So this is what we're going to do. Make a small pile with some wood chunks, insert a couple of focus starters, and light on fire. When we have a good fire going, we're going to add a couple of sticks of pecan wood, and we should be ready to go. We now have a good fire going in the grill, so it's time to start grilling the corn. And you can go with fresh corn, but I just love something about that charred corn flavor. So we're gonna move all the firewood over to one side of the grill, so we have one hot side and one cold side. Then we're gonna oil the grilling surface, and then it's time to grill the corn. When it's done, you wanna set it aside and let it cool off. So while we're waiting for the corn to cool off, we can start preparing the Maque Choux. Start by placing a heavy cast iron skillet on the warm side of the grill and melt a couple of tablespoons of butters. Then you want to lightly saute the Holy Trinity, and we finely chop 1 red onion, 2 bell peppers, and a couple of stalks of celery. We also want to add the white parts of a couple of green onions that we've finely sliced, and a poblano that we finally chopped for a little bit of heat. While we're waiting for this to saute, you want to cut the kernels off the corn stalks, and then you want to add this to the cast iron. We also want to add a couple of sprigs of thyme. After cooking this for a couple of minutes, we want to deglaze the pan with some vermouth, about 1/3 of a cup. Then we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of shrimp broth that we've concentrated down. And finally, we're going to add a little bit of heavy cream. Then you want to move the cast iron over to the colder side and keep it hot while we're starting on the shrimp. So the grilled corn Maque Choux is simmering along nicely on the grill, and the shrimp has now been marinated for about an hour and a half. So it's time to start grilling them. The first thing that we want to do is to skewer the shrimp, because they cook better that way. When all the shrimp is skewered, we want to add oil to the grilling surface and then grill for 3 minutes before we flip them over. Then we're going to grill them for another 3-4 minutes, and as a grand finale, we're going to flambe it with a little bit of brandy, mostly because it looks really cool. Last but not least, we want to sprinkle some green onions on top before we serve it. And that is how we make our grilled shrimp and corn Maque Choux. And the only thing left, I think, is to try this and see what it tastes like. So we have a nice full spoon here, so here we go. Oh man. Shrimp is cooked to perfection. You get a good charred corn flavor. This dish just comes together in so many ways. I really hope you try this at home. Happy grilling.